I'm going to share with you just for a few moments some recent discoveries about embodied thought, because they're extremely important to understanding healing. I know that you've been told about this hemispheric brain of ours, and that you've been told that only about 10% of the brain, and that's a generous percentage, but perhaps 10% of the brain is used in thinking. That's this little percentage around here, just a line around the outside that's called the cerebral cortex. I'm not going to be able to fit it in there. There's an interesting thing that happens sometimes in life-threatening situations when thought is driven from this outside cerebral cortex down deep into the brain, sometimes down here to the brain stem. And when that happens, we get the benefit of something called a survival mechanism. Survival mechanisms are interesting because they defy the known laws of brain function, which means that sometimes in a survival situation we can do things that we couldn't do at any other time, such as have a sense of what's around the next corner that is threatening. Or there have been even stories when this energy is driven into here. There have been validated incidents of a woman being able to pick up a car off a child that was under it. You've heard of things like that. That's when this thinking is driven away from the cerebral cortex down inside. And there are practices, especially those used by Gene Houston, Dr. Gene Houston, that are called disinhibiting the cerebral cortex. Disinhibiting the cerebral cortex is done in a number of different ways, particularly in primitive cultures. Let's take the Sufis, for example. Many tribes in Africa, South America, where they work with shaman, they will dance rhythmically, beat drums, this sort of thing, to give a rhythmic response to the body that drives the thinking away from the cerebral cortex and down into the brain or the brain stem. It puts a person into a trance, and in that trance, if they're properly focused with their invocation or however they entered the trance, they may very well go to a higher state of consciousness and get answers that are important for their own body and their own healing. Disinhibiting the cerebral cortex can be done by a repetition of a chant or anything that is rhythmic and has what's called mantramic value. Mantramic value means a word or a sound which, when repeated, has a tendency to repeat itself. An example of that might be a beer commercial that you heard one day, and a few weeks later find yourself humming it as you're walking down the street, and you're thinking, what am I doing humming this beer commercial? And why can't I get it out of my mind? And the reason is because it is designed by people who spend all day, every day, studying mantra and mantramic value. They have offices on Madison Avenue. So the most common use of a mantra is in advertising, trying to get you to get something into your mind so that you will buy it. So if this tiny 1% or 10% at most of the brain is used in the thinking process, what do you suppose the other 90% of the brain is used for? Care to guess? What is the most dominant activity of the brain? What takes up more use of the brain than any other thing? Do you know?
Self-talk?
Self-talk? No, that actually goes into this 10%. Self-talk is in there.
Worry.
Worry?
Fear.
That's also in the 10%.
Daydream.
Daydreaming, that's also in the 10%. What did you say about body? Body functioning. That comes close. What it is this. Whenever you're upright, seated in a chair or standing, most of your brain's activity is involved in making tiny adjustments all the way down your spine and to your feet to keep your body in balance relative to gravity and the forces around you that would cause you to fall over if your brain weren't constantly making these tiny little adjustments. So there's a furious activity going on in here all the time, except when you're lying down, sleeping, or totally at rest, total profound relaxation. At those moments, your brain is not busy with this activity, this furious activity of adjusting your body's balance in space. Now, adjusting your body's balance in space is the highest percentage of activity of your brain. The second highest percentage of activity of your brain involves maintaining what is called low-level stress. There was a time in human history when the brain was used for stress activities only in what we call a fight or flight syndrome. Those are moments that release adrenaline into the body so that we can do extraordinary things, so that we can get the hell out of there. That's what it's for. But in our modern, very complex world, we deal with stress from the moment that we wake up in the morning till the time that we go to bed at night and throughout the night. Did you ever hear anybody sleeping, grinding their teeth? 40 pounds of pressure exerted in the jaw muscles while you're asleep, and you think that's rest. And the activities going on in your mind, including self-talk, all of these things are carrying low-level stress. Low-level stress is an interesting thing that happens to your body that causes constant deterioration. You can get rid of these stress levels in a couple of ways. The most important, most effective way is profound relaxation at least 3 times a day, just so that you give the brain a little bit of rest, not just the brain, but the entire body. Remember this, you can't think without moving muscles. There are no muscles in here. The brain is incapable of slightest movement, but every time you think a thought, a muscle moves in your body. So there's constant muscular movement throughout your body. The next thing we know about that is, every time you think, a muscle moves. Second thing, if the thought is a stress thought, the muscular movement is contraction. Every time. If the thought is a thought of joy, of laughter, of relief or release, pure relaxation, recreation, the muscle movement is expansion, turning loose of muscle spasms. Now, what we know about this now is enough information to actually establish a new medical paradigm, because we know that studies have been done that show muscles, organs in your body deteriorate at rapidly different rates. You may have a liver that's 30 years old and a pancreas that's 90 years old in the same body. How does that happen?
Ew.
What we have found, what was found at the University of Pennsylvania post-mortem exams, was that where the organ had deteriorated enough to cause death, the lifeline to that organ had multiple muscle spasms all along the lifeline. The lifeline, of course, is the blood supply, lymph supply, electric supply, which is the nerve supply. And what we're not often aware of is that what we think of as our muscular structure around outside the big muscles that we are aware of, those are not the only muscles in the body. More important muscles are the tiny, almost microscopic muscles which dilate and constrict the vessels and arteries in our body. Those muscles are the ones that we need to be concerned about, because every time you think a thought, you move a muscle. If the thought is a stress thought, the muscle contracts. That contraction does not release again until you think a corresponding thought of joy or release on the same subject that caused the contraction. So that contraction or muscle spasm stays there in your body for years. You may have contracted muscles that are squeezing off the lifeline to organs and glands in your body that have been there for 30 or 40 years. Never relaxed. When we think we are profoundly relaxed, we relax the muscles that we know of, we relax our thinking as much as we can. But if we don't have a point of reference for profound relaxation, we may never get there by whatever method we choose. What should profound relaxation feel like? It should feel like being so relaxed that you forget that you have a body. If you feel your body at all, it is not profound relaxation. If you are body conscious at all, the body is calling your attention to it. You like that word? When it is demanding attention, it is at tension. That's the tension point. That's what you want to get out. All right, so one way to get that out is profound relaxation. Profound relaxation can come from the use of a mantra in meditation or other forms of relaxation. It can also come from something called getting your second wind. Do you know about that? People who are addicted to running will run as far as they possibly can, as hard as they can go, until they absolutely reach their limit. They can't go another step. Then they push themselves to run past that. When they do, a physiological phenomena occurs that puts them in an altered state of consciousness. They call it getting your second wind, but they also begin to have psychedelic experience. And when they stop after that second wind running, when they stop and relax, profound relaxation occurs. They forget about the body, they take little trips out into the ozone or whatever else is interesting out there. And there's another way that you can do it, and that is through full body participation in belly laughter. You know how to do that? I think Joseph can show you how to do that. Would you like to show how to do that, Joseph?
Okay. Give him a little rock.
Hey, Joseph!
Thought you sleeping there, did you? Okay.
You'll need to stand up.
Let's everybody stand up and take your clothes off.
And then lie down.
Well, not yet. Okay. We start off with put your hand on your belly, and we're gonna take a deep breath and just let it all out and go ha, ha, ha. Just right through the belly. Just go ha, ha. Let it go right out. So you do it once more and go ha. And now we're gonna do it and do it a few times in a row, and see how that goes.
Get the whole body involved. Your hands, your feet, all over. Bend all the way over as you laugh and let it pour out of you. This is how Shakespearean actors are trained to laugh on stage. So let's see if we can do it as convincingly as they do.
So lift the leg up and
Okay, you look better. You know, that one is what Norman Cousins used to heal himself. You might want to read about it. He wrote a book called Anatomy of an Illness, in which he described having an incurable illness in which the bones of his body were fusing together into one bone. And the doctors gave him a choice. They said, your choice is to be one frozen bone in a lying position or a sitting position. Those are the two options. How would you like to be faced with those two options? That's what he had. That's what he was told. So, assuming that that was true, he didn't disbelieve the doctors, but he decided, if I'm going to be frozen into one solid bone, at least I'm going to have some fun while it's happening. And he rented a lot of films from Hollywood film studios of the Three Stooges and other comedians that he enjoyed, and he would sit and look at these things and laugh and laugh and laugh. He soon discovered that 10 minutes of belly laughter was more effective than the strongest dose of morphine that they could give him in killing pain. The laughter killed his pain. The next thing he discovered is that laughing limbered up these joints that were freezing together. And within 3 years, he was playing tennis. Now, that's pretty powerful, the healing power of laughter. I ran into a problem with that when I encountered people who had dread disease like cancer. And I wanted to tell them, laugh yourself well. But I found that it's very difficult to get a cancer patient to laugh. They don't feel like it. And so I asked Sir George Trevelyan, I told him about this problem. I said, how can I teach people how to laugh the way Norman Cousins was talking about? And he showed me what we just did with you. He said, this is how they train Shakespearean actors to laugh convincingly on stage. So we began to practice that with audiences and see them limber up, loosen up, and find out that laughter does the same thing as profound relaxation in getting into these tiny muscle spasms that are all over your body that can choke off any organ or gland in your body and can kill you. Laughter, deep belly laughter, real good, 10 minutes of belly laughter can make those little spasms all over your body turn loose. Your blood circulation will free up. My belief is it will heal anything. Because laughter is the expression of joy and love. Joy and love will heal you. Fear, worry, and negative emotions, all of them, will kill you. It's my belief that that's the only thing that can kill you.
What happens when you laugh so hard that it hurts?
When you laugh so hard that it hurts, it's probably very good for you. The hurt doesn't last long.
No.
But what's happened is you've used muscles that haven't been used in a long time, and that's probably very good for them. That'll get the knots out. Sometimes it hurts in the jaws here.
I was just remembering that whenever you laugh or whenever you smile, the body releases endorphins. Anybody know about those basic endorphins? Drugs, chemicals released by the nervous system that help relieve pain. They go to those places in your nerves wherever you're feeling pain. The endorphins help to relieve the pain, which relaxes the tension around that area of the body. So laughing and smiling is like taking free legal drugs.
How much was it on this?
Free, legal, and natural. Naturally occurred. So that's what killed his pain. When he was laughing, this release of endorphins was much more effective than morphine in his body. So we need to learn from that. Yes.
Didn't he die, Paul?
Yes, he died later, not of that disease.
Do you know what he died?
He died of a heart attack, I believe, a massive heart attack that occurred several years later, and he was quite well on in years. So he enjoyed years and years of very productive life after this. In fact, he wrote 3 more books.
How old was he when he died?
I don't know.
He died recently.
Yeah, only in the last few months. I don't know exactly how old he was, but he was quite up there in years. So these are the things that I wanted to let you know. I believe, now this is just my belief, I can't prove it yet. My belief is that if a child could be born into this world, into the most loving setting that you could create, and this child learned to love himself, herself, and could grow up without ever experiencing a single thought of fear, I believe that that child would be physically immortal, would never die, would never be ill. I just don't believe that you can get sick without worrying, without experiencing fear, without embodied thoughts that make crystalline muscle spasms within your body and stop your body's natural processes. You want to know the secret to physical immortality? Laugh a lot. And never, never let the fantasies of danger, which we call fear, enter into your mind. Never let it happen. Keep your mind pure, clean, empty of fear thoughts. Stop believing that in order to make a good decision, you have to worry first. See, it isn't true. A relaxed, joyous mind makes better decisions more quickly than a worried, uptight mind. There's just nothing that love will do that works against you. Everything that it will do will work for you. Love and joy are expressions of the same thing. Fear, hurt, sadness, and pain are expressions of the opposite. Those things will kill you. What will heal you is bringing back joy, love, laughter, and remember this, and this is the hardest thing to remember, but do remember it if you can. The person responsible for loving you is you. Whenever you try to get it from outside yourself, no matter how wonderful that other person is, no matter how loving that other person is, no matter who that other person is, no matter how much you're in love with them, no matter how much they're in love with you, there are moments when they cannot meet your love needs. They have their own body, their own life, to which they owe the love that they need to survive. It's wonderful to share that with another person. What's dangerous is depending upon another person to meet our own responsibilities. That's codependency. That'll kill you. Step out of codependency, and if you want to, step into interdependence, mutual support. Not codependency where you have to have it from somebody else, and especially not the kind where you are willing to punish that someone else when they don't give it to you. Step out of those habits of the humans. Become a metahuman instead. Don't do what the humans do. They kill themselves. Become a metahuman. Heal yourself and help heal others by sharing that same quality of love. I'm going to stop there. I didn't come over to teach. I came over to get lunch. And there was a logistical problem getting our teacher over here. So I stepped in for you. Did I do okay?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Put your notes down. Put your pens down. Put all that other stuff down. Some of you have worked with a process that we call balanced relaxation. The process of getting in touch with what the tension feels like in the body and then deliberately relaxing it. Differential relaxation. Becoming very conscious of what tension feels like so that we can recognize it and then so that we can consciously relax. If I asked you right now to just totally relax, no tension, let go of all your tension, you can't quite do it. because most of the tension that we hold is unconscious. The more we consciously do the tension, the more we can consciously release it. So I want to take you through a process of balanced relaxation so that you can experience what it's like to release, relax, and let energy flow freely through the body. There's a tendency sometimes to think that this is just one of those little things that we do before meditation, you know, the thing that you try to get through real quickly in order to get to the thing that we're supposed to be doing. Don't let yourself be fooled by this. This is incredibly powerful. If you could take this all the way, this experience, just doing this balanced relaxation as far as it can take you, and release all the tension that is in there, can you imagine what it would be like, what the body would feel like? And what Paul was mentioning is having a body without feeling your body the way that you usually do, without feeling that it's heavy and hot and restrictive and all the other things that draw your attention back to it. To be freed from all of that, and to experience what to most of us would be a completely unique experience. What is it like to have energy that just flows completely naturally and freely through us without getting blocked and stuck anywhere? That's something that we don't have a lot of experience with. Health to flow freely through the body. So we're going to practice this, then we're going to take a break and come back after the break to do more energy sensitizing exercises. So, feet firmly on the floor, if they can reach. Was that right? Okay. Take a deep breath. I'd like to recommend that you close your eyes. More for the purpose of getting in touch with the sense of feeling what your body feels like, rather than being distracted by the sights of what's around you. And to begin, just take 3 slow, long, deep breaths. Breathing in and exhale. One more time. Inhale. Sigh out the tension. And again, inhaling deeply. Exhale. And take a few moments just to put your attention in your left hand without moving the left hand. Become aware of how the left hand feels. Move your awareness in and around and through the left hand. See what it feels like. Feel the sensitivity, the warmth in the palm of the hand. And move your awareness up in between the fingers. Right up along to the fingertips and around the fingernail, maybe even underneath the fingernail. Put your mind in there. Become aware of all these aspects of your hand. Feel the circulation. See if you can feel it pulsing through the hand. Use your sensitivity just to become aware of how your hand feels. And in just a moment, I'm going to suggest that you begin to tense the muscles in the hand and all the way up through the arm, making a fist tighter and tighter and tighter, and become specifically aware of where the tension is the most intense. Go ahead and make a fist. Make a fist. Tighten the muscles all the way up through the arm. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Get in touch with it. Notice the points that are most tense. Now open the hand wide. Stretch, 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 stretch. Hold it and relax. Take a deep breath. Feel warmth and relaxation flow in as the tension flows out. Notice the difference between tension and relaxation. Feel the difference between your left hand and arm and your right hand and arm. And be aware of those points that held the most tension. See how they feel now. As the left hand becomes more and more relaxed, move your awareness to your right hand and right arm. Slowly begin to make a fist. Make it tighter, tighter, tighter. Exaggerate it. Tension all the way up through the arm. So tight that you feel it shaking. Hold it. Now open the hand out wide. Stretch it. Keep it going. And relax. Feel warmth and relaxation flow in as the tension flows out. Feel the difference between tension and relaxation. Notice the difference between tension and relaxation. And as your arms relax, feel them just sinking into your lap or by your side. And move your awareness to your left hand, or your left leg and left foot. Slowly begin to stretch the toe out in front of you and tighten the muscles in the leg, all the way up to the powerful muscles of the thigh. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Stretch it out there. Exaggerate it. Hold it. See where the tension is most intense. Now pull the toe back, 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 back. Hold it, and relax. Feel warmth and relaxation flow into your leg as tension flows out. Recognize the difference. Consciously release the tension in the leg. Move your awareness to your right foot and right leg. Stretch the right leg out there. Hold it. Exaggerate it. Get inside the muscles. See what the tension feels like. Pull the toe back now. Stretch it. Hold it. And relax. Consciously feel warmth and relaxation flow in. Slowly take a deep breath. And feel the breath flowing right down into your leg, releasing the tension, releasing all that tension that you're holding together. Feel it evaporating into the atmosphere. And move your awareness to the hips and the buttocks, where we hold so much residual tension during the day, holding in our feelings, holding them back. Begin to tighten the hips, tighten the buttocks, tighten the sphincter muscle, holding it in, back, 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 exaggerate it, and relax. Take a deep breath, feel warmth and relaxation flowing in as the tension flows out, and move your awareness to the lower back and the abdomen. Start to arch your back off the chair and tighten the tummy muscles, tighten your stomach muscles at the same time. Tighter, tighter, tighter. One band of tension right around the midsection there. Hold it, exaggerate it, and relax. Consciously feel warmth and relaxation flowing in as the tension flows out. And with your arms relaxed by your side or in your lap, slowly begin to pull your shoulders together in front of you. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Feel the tension in front of the chest, in front of the shoulders. Exaggerate it. Get inside those muscles. See what it feels like. And relax it. Now pull the shoulders back, 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 back. Stretch, stretch. And relax. Now shoulders up, 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 up. Exaggerate the tension, hold it, scrunch the neck down behind you. Feel the tension across the back of the neck, the top of the shoulders. Hold it, and relax. You might want to roll your head slowly back and forth from side to side. Feel warmth and relaxation flowing in as the tension flows out. Notice the difference between tension and relaxation. Slowly bring your head to rest. Put your attention in the muscles of expression on your face, where we maintain the mask that we wear and present to others. We want to see how much residual tension is held in here. Slowly begin to squint your eyes together. Squint the eyes tighter and tighter and tighter together. Clamp the jaw shut. Feel the powerful muscles of the jaw reaching right back into the ears. Grimacing with the lips. Stretching out and now open your mouth wide. Ah. Very good. Ah. Stick out your tongue. Ah. Nobody's looking but me. And relax. Let's do that one again. Squint your eyes tighter together. Go on, tighter, tighter. And clamp the jaw shut. Feel the powerful muscles in there. Open your mouth. Ah. Stick out your tongue. And relax. Feel warmth and relaxation flooding back across your face. Keep your eyes closed. Keep in touch with the sensation of feeling. physically feeling the relaxation in your body. Let that relaxation move back across your face like a wave. Very gently, at your eyes, at the corners of your mouth, let yourself smile. Just a little bit of a smile. Come on. Let it break that tension out. Just a gentle little smile. Crack it right across your face there. Right from the center of your forehead, start to imagine and feel a warm, liquid, sparkling light spreading out across your forehead, down over the eyes, sinking into the muscles, releasing tension, flowing down over the cheeks, back over the head, over the ears, down over the jaw, relaxing the throat, relaxing the neck, flowing, sparkling, bringing vitality, washing out tension from the top of your head all the way down over your face, through the neck and the throat, into the shoulders, sparkling, bubbling, a warm, liquid, soothing, massaging light flowing down over you, down over the shoulders, into the upper arms and the chest, reaching down into all the organs, continuing to flow and sparkle, down over the back, into the lungs, bringing energy and life and vitality, washing out tension, into the rib cage, down over the forearms, washing out through the hands and the fingers, into the abdomen, washing over the hips, the buttocks, the genitals, down over the thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, feet and toes, from the top of your head all the way down through your fingertips and your toes. Let yourself feel one continuous flowing motion of warm, liquid, soothing, massaging light, washing out all tension. Feel what it's like to be relaxed. Let your mind be awake and alert while the body is relaxed. And feel from the center of your being a little ball of energy that starts to glow. Starting like one little spark that starts to grow, become many sparkles that reach out, pulsating like a little ball of light, filling your center, reaching outward until it fills your whole being. Take just these few moments of silence, of quiet, to be inside yourself, recognizing that the body is a vehicle, an instrument. Release the tension in the body and start to feel just being energy, an innate healing awareness that flows naturally through your body, maintaining it as an incredibly complex and wondrous instrument. Let that natural healing process take place. Slowly bring your awareness back to the body sitting here in the room. Take a deep breath. Slowly begin to stretch. Take your own time to reorient back inside of your body, maintaining the relaxation. Whenever you're ready to open your eyes, Okay, I'd like everybody, put all your stuff down again.
Put it
Stand up.
down. Throw it away.
Stand up.
Will you shush back there?
Okay, spread out into the room, get a little bit of space. Now, I know some of you heard me talk about this. What do you usually do when you need energy? You know, when you start to feel a little bit that, 3:30 in the afternoon, 4:30. Some of you take a walk. Okay.
Take a nap.
Caffeine. What else?
Sit in the sun.
Sit in the sun.
Breathe.
Eat a candy bar. Caffeine candy bars, those are some of the biggest. We take something to eat.
Take a glass of molasses milk, get it nice and cold, pour it in there, and then stir it around and drink it down.
Okay, this is great.
What do you do, Stephen?
What?
What do you do, Stephen?
What are you doing back there,
What do I do?
sitting?
It's usually the sugar hit.
All right, I'm going to get space, too.
Well, very often we take something, we eat it, we take this stuff and we put it into our bodies. There's energy all around, just in the atmosphere itself. What's the air made out of? Energy. What do those little molecules look like with the electrons moving around them? What's that look like? Would you like to show us what the molecules look like? That's right. All over the place. They're just moving everywhere.
Wife is going to get mad.
I want all of us to realize that as we're breathing in this stuff. We're breathing in all this energy. It's just so that every time we take a conscious breath, we can energize the body. We're going to start doing some of those conscious breaths. First, we'll start with these 5 short inhales. Okay, like this. Until there's just no more room to breathe in. And just fill the lungs up, and then 5 short exhales. Now, it's not this. Just like that. It's all the way and out. Very good, you got it. Again. You can smile while you do this. One more time. Okay.
All right.
Very good. You want to start getting accustomed to feeling a little bit of energy. Take your hands, right down the end of your arms. Hold them out in front of you, and just hold them closer and closer until you can feel some kind of sensitivity in between the hands. You have to get real close before you can actually feel something. Feel almost like there's warmth, pressure, movement. What else? Electricity tingling was rubber. Warm, warm, warm.
Anybody have the sensation of a balloon with water in it?
Yeah, like a water balloon. Whoa. Okay. Feel what it's like to press that together a little bit and then let it expand out a little bit. What's the difference between pressing it together and then letting it expand? Cool.
Cool and hot.
Like a vacuum. Okay. Like an accordion. But you feel a difference in your hands, don't you? A difference between pressing them together and letting them pull out. It's more compact. The energy gets compact when you press it in. It disperses when you pull it out. Start to play with that as if you've got this little ball, okay? It's a ball of energy. You put it in one hand. One hand just rests on top of it, okay? Carry it around in that one hand. Let the hand relax. Let that ball settle into your hand. And go back into this hand. Feel how heavy it is. Feel the weight. So you can make your hands sensitive and playing with that ball of energy back and forth. Rolling it around. Don't forget to breathe. take that little ball and throw it up and catch it again. Feel the sensitivity in your hands. Come on. And what's the difference between what your palm feels like and what your fingertips feel like? Anything? Just a moment, I want you to take both of those hands like this and clap. Oh! What was that? Electricity. Hands feel pretty lively now, don't they? Don't your hands feel a lot warmer? That actually hurts. Now usually when you clap your hands, does it hurt like that? It doesn't hurt like that. You can feel it, but it doesn't hurt like that. You take just a few moments to put your concentrated attention into your hands. You start to collect energy, intent, focus into the hands. Bring that ball back. We don't want to get all smashed all over the room. Bring your concentration back. Build that ball. Feel it pulsating, glowing. Put color to it if you want to. Put weight to it. Put warmth to it. Now take that ball and absorb it into your stomach. Breathe it in. Feel yourself holding the ball of energy right there in your stomach. Let your hands be sensitive, moving, flowing out to any side of your center. Now for just a moment, feel that ball of energy sitting there in the center of the being, not just in the front, but all around. Let it become sensitive with your midsection. Visualize, feel a ball of energy that has its center deep inside of you and glows all around. Let it send energy down through the legs, down through the hips, the buttocks, down through your legs. Take a moment to become aware of your sphincter muscle. Anybody not familiar with what I mean by the sphincter muscle? That's the
Yeah, I
muscle
don't know what that is.
The muscle that you use to keep yourself from going to the bathroom. So it holds in there. Standing in the bus.
It didn't work too well when I went to get it, but home
Well, I tell you, sometimes it doesn't work. So we need to become a lot more aware of what that sphincter muscle is. We tend to hold it in unconsciously, just a little bit of tension in there. Okay? Take a deep breath. Don't pee in your pants, but relax your sphincter muscle. Relax it. Breathe. Release the tension from that area. It's great for sex. There's a little bit of encouragement. They want to do that. Tighten, relax your sphincter muscle.
Good, Marilyn.
It's true. Absolutely. Tighten and relax. Tighten and relax. Okay, relax. Now, become aware of that ball of energy. You need to get in touch with it again. Put it in your hands. Move it around. Let your hands be sensitive. Feel the weight. Feel the warmth. Roll it back and forth and then absorb it into your stomach.
Wait, my solar plexus?
In the solar plexus, so down a little bit lower. By the navel. A little bit of the navel. And feel it. It's a big, real big ball of energy. Now fills your whole midsection and it sends energy down through the legs. Right down through the legs. Rooting deep to the ground. Feel energy moving like this, right through the feet. Plug themselves in. Now, do you feel a little bit different when you have your feet moving like that? Relaxed, moving. Your body feel any different? Grounded.
take a few moments to become sensitive. What your thoughts can do is putting energy into the hands and putting energy